Whenever I hear someone talk about purse piece, to me, it always sounds like catching a unicorn, something that is not achievable because there are so many new beautiful handbags being released every single year, multiple times a year. And as a luxury handbag lover, how do you not want to buy any of them, you know? But I've realized that in the last year and a half, I have gone back to my pre 2020 shopping patterns. I did a whole other video about it. I'll link it in the description box below. And I have narrowed it down to 5 types of handbags that I would still like to add to my handbag collection. And it used to be a list of tens and tens of handbags. And now I'm down to 5. And so it's a big thing for me, you know? And I think it's mainly because I'm in a really good place with neutrals. So now I'm ready for a little bit more excitement. Something like a pop of color or something that is more seasonal or a combination of both. So I have made a list, and in this list, it's like a combination of new releases and also some bags that have been on my wish list for years and years. So I think it's a pretty interesting list, so let's go through it together. Bag number one, or more like the bag category number one, is a red bag. I have always dreamed of having a red luxury designer bag because I think red bags are so beautiful. But I'm quite boring. I usually go with my neutral bags on a daily basis, which is why I kind of know that it wouldn't be one of my most used bags. It would be more of a special occasion bag, which is why, even though it's always been on my wish list, it hasn't been a very high priority until now. I was actually very close to finding my dream red luxury designer handbag, and I think it was, you may have noticed it in one of my Chanel vlogs from, I think it was either fall winter, the last fall winter, or pre fall winter collection, and there was this absolutely stunning cherry red Chanel mini rectangular flap bag with a top handle. Absolute perfection. There was just one thing wrong with that bag, which is the leather. It was made of lambskin. And ever since, with what happened to my yellow mini rectangular flap bag with a top handle, I am no longer buying Chanel lambskin bags, at least not colored ones. I could go for a black Chanel lambskin leather bag, but never color because their bags are so expensive and their after sales service is basically zero, non-existent. So I don't want to take such an expensive risk. I will wait. It's okay. The perfect red bag will come. Then last November, I was this close to buying the Celine Triumph bag, but I feel like it's more of an everyday bag. It wouldn't take me like from day to night. I know I'm asking for a lot, but I feel like a Chanel flap bag would do that for me. And also a Lady Dior. As a matter of fact, whenever I see Danny O's red patent leather Lady Dior, I always feel like, should I just go for it? Should I just get another Lady Dior? Because it's simply stunning. And now lately I've also been considering the Gucci Jackie bag, but not in the smooth leather, but in the more like crumpled type of leather. I think it's a good size, it looks pretty durable, and it also looks versatile enough for me, for what I want from it. But the only problem is that I don't know how safe that bag is. In fact, if you have this bag in any of the colors, please let me know your experience with it in the comment section below, because I'm really curious to find out if the bag just looks less secure than it actually is, or is it the type of bag that if it falls down, everything just falls right out of it. And now moving on to bag category number two, which is a raffia bag with tan leather details. Every single summer, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of luxury handbags being released in the most summery color slash material combination, which is a raffia bag with tan leather details, like brown leather details. And yet, somehow, I haven't found the one for me. I'm kind of into the new pre-spring summer collection by Dior, but I can't help but feel like something is missing. I really do like the micro Lady Dior, but it is way too small. It is seriously lacking functionality. if they had the same like style in a mini Lady Dior, then we would be talking like that's already much closer to what I'm looking for. Another one that I really like is the Louis Vuitton on the go tote from the Spring Summer 2021 collection. And I actually tried it on in the store when it first came out, but at the time I had the Louis Vuitton on the go tote in the classic oversized monogram, and so I didn't want to have two on the go totes in my collection. And then after some time, I sold it in the canvas monogram. And then I saw the second season of The White Lotus, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, I strongly recommend you watch it like right now because it's so good. But basically, one of the characters, she had a bag, the Louis Vuitton Noe, I think it was, bucket bag, and it was in the same print. So I kind of fell for it again. Of course, by the time that I realized that I was interested in it again, it was already sold out at the Louis Vuitton boutiques. However, to my surprise, I found it on 24S. And 24S, they usually have bags that are from older seasons from Louis Vuitton still available. I don't know how that works, but they have these very random collections available to purchase. So I felt like that was my second chance to buy that bag. But then I watched some of the videos that I took when I tried it on, and I remembered how heavy it felt. And there was literally nothing in it. It was empty and it was so heavy. So I can't imagine how heavy that bag would be if there was like a beach towel, a water bottle, like bare essentials inside. It would be like almost like carrying a suitcase. So that stopped me. But honestly, if it was lighter, it's very, very close to the perfect summer beach tote. The bag category number 3 is an everyday tote bag, which could also function as a travel tote. And now, if you have seen my other videos, you may remember that I prefer small bags. I would always prefer a small bag over a large tote. But I have realized that there are some times that I could really use like a comfortable tote bag to run around the city with. And I don't really have one except for beach totes. I think I only have one, and it's more of a winter bag. So I think it's finally time for me to add an everyday tote bag to my handbag collection. And I am leaning towards Goyard. I think that the canvas is beautiful. I love the colors that these bags are available in, but I am really truly afraid of how thin the canvas looks because I have seen the wear and tear on those bags and it's crazy. And I don't know if it's because these bags are just maybe used a lot and not being taken care of properly, or is it just because the canvas is so thin so it's very easy to damage it? So again, if you have some experience with these bags, please let me know in the comment section below, because if the canvas was just, if it looked just a little bit more durable, I would love to have a Goyard bag. Then last summer, I almost bought a Celine tote, which kind of looked like Celine's version of a Dior book tote. I really like the Celine Triumph logo print canvas. I think that it's quite subtle and wearable. And I also think that it doesn't draw a lot of attention, which is preferable for me in an everyday tote bag and in a travel tote bag. But I think that I'm really missing like a classic style tote bag because I already have other bags that are in the book tote style, and I don't really have one that is in the classic tote bag shape. I don't know how it happened, but yeah. And I'm also not a big fan of the single button closure. For travel, especially for travel and especially for the city life, there needs to be a zipper on my tote bag. But I still really like it, and if it had a zipper, it's very likely that I would have already bought it. And speaking of larger handbags, another tote bag that I would love to buy is a white leather tote bag. I love white handbags, and there's one bag in particular that has been on my wish list since quite literally October 2021, which is the Bottega Veneta Jody in size small. But the thing is that, again, it's kind of the same situation as with the red bag. I don't wear big bags. And if I already have an everyday tote bag, which let's assume I would eventually, it's like almost number one on my wish list. So if I get that one, I know that I wouldn't wear the white tote bag very often. So I don't really need it, but they're so beautiful. And I would love to have the Jody in the bigger size. I think that at this point, it is a classic. I don't think that it would ever go out of fashion, and I love the quality of Bottega bags. There's just nothing else like it. The leather is so soft and so smooth, and it's just such a joy to use those bags. So I know that I don't really need it, but I really like it. And then I also really love the Alaya bags in the signature Vienne. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it correctly. Laser cut motif. They just released the rosemary clutch. I think that it's so cute. And it's also available in a bigger size, but the bigger size unfortunately doesn't really look very practical. But generally speaking, I am very excited about Alaya. I really like that particular laser cut motif. I think it's very Alaya, and I would love to have a bag in that particular motif. And then at number five, I'm going to be very specific, and I know that you have heard her name many, 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 many times, but I can't help myself. I would love to have a Kelly. I know I'm not being very original, but a Kelly is simply such a stunning bag. And I briefly mentioned it in my last video, in which I talked about how I was able to get my first Birkin from the store. But basically, there is this one color, size, hardware combination that I'm looking for, which is probably one of the many reasons why I've been waiting for it for now. I think it's been more than 2 years, but I'm still hoping. I hope that maybe one day it'll find its way to me, and then my handbag collection will be complete. And now I would like to add an honorable mention, which is an orange bag, like either an orange or a red tangerine orange, just not neon orange. Do you get my orange, where I'm going with these oranges? Like, have you seen the most recent Fendi collection with the orange raffia Fendi baguettes and Fendi peekaboos? They are so cute, but I cannot justify buying another baguette. I need to get some of my other bags from my wish list, and then I can think about more baguettes. But right now, I can't. No more baguettes for me, at least not this year, I hope. And now I'm curious to hear what bags you have on your wish list. Is there something that is outside of your comfort zone but that you really, really like? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was somewhat entertaining, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Stay safe, everyone.